Hello and welcome back to the Opener Sorcery. It's Devi, and today we are going to be talking about more shadow work. But here's where it gets a little different. So I have asked you before, what do you fear? What do you fear? But this time I want you to focus on not only what do you fear, what are you afraid of admitting that you do fear? What has fear behind the fear? Because there is something there. And this morning, I was thinking about it and I took a look at it for myself. I am afraid to age. Not that I think getting older is a bad thing. In fact, I do find it to be an honor, and this is something that is so silly. Because everyone that is alive is aging and is in the process of getting older. And getting older is a good thing. That is the natural cycle of everything. So why is there fear behind it? And I ask myself, is it a fear of dying? No. Pure and simple, it's not. It is not a fear of dying. Death does not hold fear for me because I have that inner knowing of what comes next. What happens. It is more, unfortunately, aesthetic. As gross as that is, as vain as that is, but as real as that is, it is aesthetic. But I have been afraid to admit that to myself. But it's silly because the stereotype is women are afraid of aging. So let's look at the fear behind the fear. Why was I afraid to admit that fear to myself? Or, conversely, is that actually my fear, or was that an input fear from society? And that's where I want you to really be looking. Because if we don't actually look at it, if we don't take the time, if we don't take the moments to identify that it is not mine, or it is mine, and I don't want to admit that it's mine, how the hell are we going to be able to deal with it? Realistically, we wouldn't be. It takes acknowledgement. It takes looking at something. It takes shining a light on the slimy, sleazy shadows that sit in the back of our minds. And it can be slimy and sleazy. Absolutely. We'll go a little PG-13, right? Meet somebody new. You don't know them. You may imagine having some kind of an intimate action with them pretty immediately. Are you afraid of that? Are you afraid of admitting that? It's chemicals. It's hormones and attraction. Why the fear? Why the shame? Why the attachment to what is stated to be normal? Why cling to it? What purpose does it serve for us? Ultimately, all it does is try to keep us in line in some kind of a joint venture of morality, a joint activity. and agreed upon contract societally. But here's the thing. These societal contracts were written way before our time. Were accepted way before our time. And even worse, were broken before our time. And so we are going by, if I'm going to put it into, old world terms, it is a broken covenant that for some reason we are still clinging to. So I want you to look at the fears that you are afraid to say that you are afraid of. The ones that you do not want to name. The ones that make you angry that you are 40-something years old and you are afraid of the dark. We have to look at the fear behind the fear. We have to look at what we are being told and why that fear is there. Because if that fear has not manufactured itself naturally, then why the hell is it there? And I feel aggressive with this one. I really feel aggressive with this one because ultimately that fear of aging is not my fear. That fear of getting older and losing my youthfulness, of gaining crow's feet and fine lines or deeper lines and laugh lines, that's not truly a fear of mine. That is a societal fear because they want us afraid of getting old. But the only way that I can actually release it is to identify that this foreign thought is in my head. This foreign thing has taken a piece of my brain and then wrest it back. And really and truly, that is the only solution that we have. Because if we're being honest, naming the fear is half of the battle. And naming the fear is what helps you to identify it so that you can ultimately release it. This has been Devi on the Open Resourcery, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and that you can put those fears into the grave, because no one deserves to live under the thumb of being ruled in the mind. Have a good one.